Okay, fast track video here. It's July 27th and my name is Ed, and we've got a special occasion with fish this weekend. We're going to do smoked salmon, and I'm trying to follow a recipe by Jason Hill, but I have a couple other devices that he doesn't have, and therefore the outcome of this turned out to be similar to his, but not really. It was genuinely a smoked salmon. I do not have a pellet grill. I have a Blaze Aluminum Kamado that's a 1 1/4 inch thick aluminum. So therefore I get my smoking completely sealed in, and it's kind of a little bit like a set it and forget it kind of grill, but it's made for smaller amounts of meals to make it. I really am thinking about broadening myself to a cabinet smoker eventually. So anyways, I'm putting cracked pepper in here, and then the mixture of brown sugar and kosher salt is in that shaker. And I'm trying to saturate the entire salmon on both sides like Jason Hill was suggesting. The only thing is I didn't really get this to look and work as good as his was, as you will see moving forward here. So now we got a device here, like I was saying, Jason Hill, chef, he basically had wrapping paper that he put on a glass container and put it in the refrigerator. I decided to seal my stuff, and so I use an old food saver, and this was really difficult at first for me to learn and understand because the instructions were poorly made, number one, and number two, everything that I tried to figure out on this thing just was not working very well. But in this case now, with this food saver, years later, like almost 5 years later, I've got this thing down to a science here, so it's not really that much of a problem anymore. And I can end up running, I can seal any kind of meat as I want. The only problem I have is making sure that I cut the amount of package that I want to seal. Otherwise, then I have something that I didn't cut enough, and then I have to throw that away and cut something more. So this is basically what I have here. I'm going to toss this meat in like Jason Hill was doing on his, but on a glass container. And this seals it up pretty good. I'm going to just jump in a little quicker here to show you what it looks like here. So here, this is the second batch or bag that I actually made here, and we're just going to put it right in here, and it'll seal it. Well, I'll show you basically what it looks like once I get this thing set up here. It's very finicky at first. I mean, maybe the newer food savers are better now, but apparently with this, it's always been challenging trying to get it to work, to get the sensor to connect to the bag. But once it's connected, then you get this sound, and it seals the entire bag. And there you have it. So that's what we have there. We're going to let it sit overnight in the refrigerator and take a look at it the next day. So here we have Saturday morning here, and I just got the 2 bags out, and like Jason Hill, we're going to rinse off all the marinated brown sugar, kosher salt, and pepper. I want to correct myself with this. I did not put garlic powder on this. It was just pepper. So I'm just smelling it, and it smells pretty much like fish. So always curious to see what that is, afterwards. And It does have a little bit of a color tone, and I'm going to show that as well right now. And you might see it right here. You know, I've already zoomed or panned up my video to show a little more. As you can see, 4 pieces on the tray here. The color is different than what I had initially, so I think the brown sugar is in there. And when I got this fully smoked, it did have a slight sweetness of brown sugar in there, so it served its purpose doing more than 8 hours, you know, marinated on the food saver package. Now we're heading into the backyard, and as you can see here, these are my spice plants here. I have 2 racks here, and they're very healthy. They seem to like that area where I have them perched. And I'm just now filling up regular water onto that drip pan. I don't really need anything fancy because it's just smoke from the charcoals is going to be coming up into that water. I am going to put some seasoning in here. As you can tell, I'm pulling some out and just dropping it into the pan. But you'll probably see me do this a little more than necessary because I started to think, you know, I just really want to have a flavor of this along with, you know, it's going to be above the heat deflector, so it's going to add a little bit of flavor along with the charcoal and the apple and cherry wood that I have combined into this cook. So I just want to let you guys see this, and then let's move on over to the next area here as well. So I'm just going to temporarily put this up in the area here. Get it kind of situated as it is, you know, a little bit soaked into that water. And now we're going to move on over and start working with these, getting the grill set up here. And here we have the 3 cherry wood chunks. And this is the Kamado here. I usually keep this clean right after I do a cooking. This is a double header. Saturday we're going to be doing salmon, and we're going to be doing the chicken wings. And this is the amount of charcoal I'm using for today, along with the 3 wood chunks. And as you can see, there's gaps around the middle one, and that's because I'm going to be putting the charcoal on this chimney once it's cooked right into it. So let's heat it up right now. I'm just going to get the blower out here too and just move the chimney so that they're facing close to each other so I can easily heat up this. And these 2 things work great. I highly recommend this for everybody. Grilling. Alright, so we're going to light up I'm going to first turn on the blower. I'm not going to create noise for everybody to hear this because it's not necessary. However, with the fan blower, once I get it going, I do bring down the blowing, you know, because it is adjustable from super high blowing to hardly much. And I'll show you, see, when I have it up so high, it's very difficult to get this thing, you know, kind of lit. I'll probably have to get it kind of burning there like it is there. And this is at top maximum speed, so I have to slide it right into that hole, and then you get all those fumes coming out. And then from that, once I see that it's coming out a lot, then I have to bring down the blower so it's not blowing so intensely because it'll blow out the fire. So that's the key to running these 2 things, and I'm going to show you how this looks like after 10 minutes. So during the 10 minutes, I added some more seasoning because I just didn't seem to see that there was enough of it. I really wanted some good flavor to be on this whole thing. So as you can see right now, it is really, that basket is getting cooked more now. And I like it more cooked like it is here, the charcoals, only because the factor is I know that once I put this in, as you'll see with the gaps that I had on that wood, it all fills in there right next to the damper. And that's the way I do my work with the Kamado, is I try to keep the fire burning close to the Kamado, to the damper, so that I can easily run the Dragon blower onto that damper if I need to increase the heat. So that's how I do my workflow here with the Kamado, and it's been very effective. Have not really had any problems with anything regarding fire management now. It's more of a set it and forget it kind of thing, as you'll see with this video. Because once I get the dampers dialed in, then it's so much easier for me to get the rest of. I don't have to worry about the fire so much. And my rule is, to keep not to even open up the grill until 2 to 4 hours later. I really don't want to look at things inside the grill, but I do put my trust on the thermometer that's outside. Give credit to Blaze for making great thermometers, because they do seem to work very, very well. This first cook is 2 hours, and I'm just adjusting the heat deflector so I could actually put in the tray with all the seasoning, spices, and water in that level there. And this is how I work things. I don't use the one grate that came with Blaze here. I just only use 2. This one here, and then the one with the meat, which is going to go on top of this right now. And but still right now I'm trying to get everything set up. So I'm going to go and continue to I give it at least 30 to 45 minutes warm-up time, so I'm not allowing the charcoal or anything smoky kind of like billow in and try to saturate the meat. So I kind of wait till all the smoke kind of tapers down, and I get a clear like smoke going through the smokestack above the Kamado. So we're going to get to about 220, 240. That's my sweet spot here on this. Talk to you soon. Well, I like where we're at here. As you can see that we're about 220, 225. So we're going to open this up. And all we're going to do here with this is we're just going to take this pan and put it on top. Like so. That fit fine. I didn't even check that out to see that was going to work initially, but it looks like it fits fine. Then we close it. Come back here in about an hour or so, see what we get. So now it's 2 hours in the cooking process now, and it doesn't look like it's completely smoked or it's cooked. So we may still go a little bit longer here, maybe another hour, and we'll check and see what this is all about. I do have some seasonings for the mashed potatoes that I got to work with, and the asparagus. And we also have the summer smoothie, which is really, really good. So we're going to get what we can get done here. I just want to show you once again my little spice area, and we're going to move on here. Okay, so here we have, I just made the bacon. I chopped up the spices from the spice plant and some chives. And here's the russet potatoes. We're going to peel off the skin and then put it into a, here, that pan there had the lemon and the butter in there, and what I need to do is I need to drain out those pits from the lemon. And we had plenty of We didn't have a lot of sauce, but we did have enough to baste, and that's what the sauce looks like right there when I separated it. So not an awful lot, but more than enough to do the work that needed to be done once the salmon was completely smoked and ready. So I'm just going to put this off to the side here, just have it in there for the moment, and get back to some other things here. Okay, so I just washed the potatoes and got them out of the bag, and now I'm just going to start peeling them. And I'm using this frying pan. There's that green cup there that has the asparagus that I just basically put some water in. I just got it from the supermarket. It's just going to sit there until I'm ready to work on that. Of course, I can't see it here because I didn't have the camera positioned properly. But, you know, this is going to be kind of a little bit redundant here, so I'm just going to show you that I'm just peeling them out, and then I cut them into quarters, and then I put them into a bowl. So, and then we start to put water in it and boil it. All right, so now I got the Greek yogurt out, and that's going to be used to put into this potatoes here. And I'm just going to wait until I get these potatoes boiled, because I've got everything kind of situated there. At the same time of all these things going on, let's go back out to the grill, into the Kamado, and we can see that it's still timing pretty good at 240, 250. Don't really have too much of an issue with that. Taking another look at it, it looks like, you know, the salmon is pretty much ready. We're going to run a probe on it, and as you can see, you'll see we got it somewhere around up 143, 144. I think that's pretty much ready. I don't need to cook anymore. That's 145 there. 140. Well, it was 136. Should have waited a little bit there. These probe things are not always 100% accurate. And keep in mind, I had the charcoals in the front as opposed to the back. So if anything, the back would have had more of an issue of something cool. But I think these things are pretty much ready, and we're going to get them out soon. Okay, so I did use the spatula. It is not overly burnt on the grate. So, but wow. I put this on for 2 hours at about 240, and this was marinated with brown sugar, kosher salt, and some garlic powder. So, we're just waiting to get the baked potatoes ready, and then we're just going to eat. Well, we may end up getting some asparagus too. So I'm going to finish up with the cooking of the mashed potatoes here. So we'll be back in a second here. I'm not showing this to everybody here, but I'm pretty much basting the salmon here. I just ran a microwave on the sauce, so I'm just dousing the meat here with this wonderful sauce that I made. And the sauce was using lemon and butter and some garlic powder. That's all it is. So my wife didn't want me to put any of the apricot preserve on this, so I'm just basically going to drench this with lemon and butter and some garlic powder. So, and that may be fine. I mean, ultimately it does have a sweet taste, and it's not really as fishy because of the marinated that was done, the rub and the garlic powder And I don't think I had garlic powder. I had just the salt and the brown sugar last night. It's the brown sugar that's adding a light taste of sugar on this. So I'm going to stop the video here because that concludes this first part of today on the smoking of the salmon. And I want to move more on to the baked potatoes and the asparagus, and we'll probably do that as one part, and then we'll go into the Tony Roma style chicken wings. And the reason why I kind of went very fast with that, only because of the fact that I just didn't have enough time to put a rub down onto the chicken and kind of do like an overnighter. I wanted to make use of the charcoal and see how long can I use that charcoal, and I was very impressed that I could go at least 6 to 7, about 7 hours really, in all honesty. And then we also have the smoothie that we have here too. So this may be kind of like a 4-part video here, but I want to just let everybody see this part here is for the smoked salmon. Okay? Catch you soon for part 2, part 3, and part 4.